Last year we had a lot of teams go pretty far. Syracuse and us both being in the Final Four. Notre Dame went pretty far, and then we've had Duke win the championship in the last few years. So I think our conference does a pretty good job in the tournament. Usually we had a lot of teams in the tournament this year, and we didn't. I just feel like this year we didn't do as well as we normally do.
What is the best way in your mind then to truly fully judge a league and how good it looks?
I think you just have to look at the conference play. When you look at teams, who have done well throughout the tournament, and then you see the kind of losses that they had throughout the conference. I think that shows the strength of the conference, or how much variety we have in the conference, and how many times you see like teams change spots as far as rankings in the conference and stuff like that. I think that's probably the best determinant of the strongest conference.
Meaning like the 14th team beating the third.
Exactly, and how between the top 5 teams, they may shift between first, second, third, fourth throughout the entire regular season.
Now, I've always been curious, you especially here in SEC country where they are very proud of their entire conference. Do the players, do you feel like you're representing a conference, or is it a lot more based on just your school and team?
I think it's a little bit of both. I know for me personally, when we have teams in the tournament, I'm always pulling for those teams to win.
Except for Duke.
I was about to say it's harder to pull for Duke and State. Duke being our rival, and then I guess the kind of confrontational relationship we have between us and State. It's harder to pull for those teams, but still, you want to see the conference.
Do you have a lasting memory of the first matchup with Kentucky? That was sort of an instant classic, maybe one of the best, maybe the best regular season game we got.
That was definitely one of the classics. Such a high-paced, high-scoring game. The one takeaway is just how up and down the game was. And both of us like to play that way, so the game was suited to each other's playing style, and I think it was just an extremely fun game, a high-level game.
What did you think when you saw Monk? I don't know if you guys knew it, but his coach was screaming for him to drive, and instead he pulls up and takes the winning three.
I don't know. He was hot the whole game. For him to score 47 points, Coach said I think that's the most or second most anyone has ever scored against our program. For him to take any shot was almost like it was going in, and I think Monk felt the same way, and that's why he pulled out.
Has Roy tried to kind of jab you guys with that a little bit? There's obviously some pride there when a guy, lights you up historic play.
Most definitely. Our staff has talked about us doing a better job on the defensive end and not, allowing someone to go off for any kind of points like that. And that's not just with Monk. That's anyone who scores big on us. Mike Young scored big on us a couple of times. It was like that when we were trying to guard Dennis. There's a lot of great players in our conference, and that's always the emphasis is to try to limit those guys' good looks.
Nate Justin obviously went off in that game too, and got lost a little bit in Monk. You think that bothered him at all? That he played well?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that bothered Justin at all. And even, from that game, you saw how well he was playing. Coming off of that momentum. So I don't think that bothered Justin, and I think that game partially gave him a lot of confidence going into the rest of the season.
How tough a matchup is he for teams? A guy that long on the perimeter.
You talking about Monk or Justin?
Justin.
Justin is extremely long. He's a taller, I think one of the taller wing players, and he's athletic. So when he's getting to the basket, he can use his length to finish, and him with his height and his arm length, he's able to pull up over defenders as well from the three-point line. So, guarding him in pickup and in practice, he's a tough check, and I think his size and athleticism helps him with that.
I'm sorry about that. Among the things you guys have used to sort of get you motivated this year, at times revenge has sort of crept up, beginning with Wisconsin, and then you had Northern Iowa, and then you had Duke and Miami, and then, of course, the other night. And you guys have always responded to it really well. This is another one of those situations, not just the loss, but the 47 points by Monk. Is that something that can add even more fuel to what you guys are doing tomorrow?
I do think that's a bit of fuel, knowing that we lost him last time, knowing it was a good game, it could have went either way. And we know that if we did better on the defensive end, that the outcome of that game could have been different. So that's just been something that we've been emphasizing, and we will use that as fuel that we lost to them last time. And I don't think, there's a bunch of things that we're using at this point as fuel to the fire. We're trying to get back to the championship game and trying to take it one game at a time. So,
but that's been a little bit of a theme because you guys have been pretty open talking about those things this year.
Yeah, that's definitely been a part of the theme. Coach always, the last 2 years, before the season started, he's told us that we're good enough to get to the championship game if we listen to him and do everything that he tells us to do. So, our team believes in that, and that's something that we think about going into every game.
And afterward in Vegas, you and a couple of the other guys even said that was sort of a measuring stick game to kind of know where you were at that particular time. And when you look back on it, Isaiah and Kennedy were both in foul trouble. They combined for like 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Theo didn't even play in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Now Kenny's not playing. So you guys have changed a lot since then. What do you take from that? The fact that you guys are so different now.
We have changed a lot, and I think that just speaks to our depth. Knowing that we have guys that can get injured, with Theo being hurt in the beginning of the season and Kenny coming in and stepping up and playing big for us, and now Kenny being out and Theo being back, it's just been a different dynamic for our team throughout the whole season, and guys have done a great job of stepping up and being able to play big minutes and play well for us.
Nate, did you get to see Chris